Hi guys, I hope everybody is doing good and your preparations are going well. So I thought, why not bring the RTP discussion so that we will be complete with that small aspect also. I've gone through the RTP of strategic management and it seems to be one of the very simplest RTPs. So I have been emphasizing a point so many times that we don't need any special preparation for MCQs, and we also don't need to worry about what sort of questions are being asked in the exam, because if you are concentrating on all the concepts, questions automatically we will be able to answer is something that I have been repeatedly emphasizing. This RTP again in front of you is going to prove that big time, because of the very same reason that I have always been mentioning. They'll give you a whole paragraph about something, but at the end of the day, they're going to ask you the question that has a straight answer from the book. So even the RTP is full of such things. So I thought, why not do a small discussion whereby we will have a clear idea of what is there in the RTP. I don't think people will pick up specific time to sit and run through this. So if you go through the video alongside, and it'll just be done. That's what is the idea of doing this. So let's start with a multiple choice question there. Huge stories even, but along with that, the questions are, since I've already gone through, I'm saying they're damn simple. Okay, let us start with that. And there are, I think, two questions from each chapter of the five chapters. So about 10 questions are also asked, which again I will discuss with you to prove the same fact that there may be a lengthy question about something, but the point that they're asking the question is so damn simple. Okay, let's get this done, guys. Come on. So foregoing the case-based MCQ, starting with, so they're also starting nicely, saying what once upon a time. So once upon a time in the land of sun, sand, and vibrant cultures, there exists a company by named Musugowa. That's how I am pronouncing it. A company that managed museums in the beautiful state of Goa. Musugowa had a vision. Okay, something to note down there. A vision to celebrate the rich history and culture of Goa, but their journey was not without fair share of challenges. Obviously, everybody in business will have their fair share of challenges. Musugowa has chosen a picturesque location. I think Goa is that way a very beautiful place. So to have a picturesque location in a quaint village to build their first museum. However, the initial enthusiasm was met with an uproar from local communities. I think this is more of a movie story than a strategic management story. So whenever you go to a particular place and try to do something like this, obviously you will face a little backlash from the local community, because they don't want the aesthetic value of that place to decrease by you putting a corporate setup of doing something, right? So the villagers were concerned about the impact on the way of their life and traditions. They worried that the influx of so many tourists might disrupt their peaceful existence. Though I don't like to, really get off the topic here, but I would, uh, as I see that line, I understand how that has happened to many places in India, right? So now, to address this challenge, Musagoa applied Mendelow's matrix. All right, Mendelow's matrix in the third chapter, they said, you remember, right? Keep satisfied, keep informed, keep players and low priority. So, identifying the local communities as the key stakeholders. So, Mendelow's matrix is something that is a power and interest matrix. So, see, there is nothing to do with Musogoa. The five questions that they're going to ask you are strategic management questions. So, once again, reading the whole case in the exam is just an exercise. I won't call it a waste of time in the exam, because anyway you have to read it. So let us continue. What happened then? They decided to engage in open dialogues with people, understanding the respective villages. Musugawa initiated a community building activity, like involving locals in the museum operations. Now that builds a little confidence to the local people, saying that, look, we still have a job to do, or we will, our life will not be affected, giving them a positive feeling like that. And slowly but steadily, the company transformed from being what is perceived as a threat to a valued partner within the community. So it was something that the villagers were a little afraid of, but now it is being treated as a valued partner. While Musagowa had successfully resolved their initial issues, the local community, they faced another challenge. Okay, what is that? Their location, although idyllic, was a bit different off the beaten path. Tourists typically preferred the bustling beaches closer to the city, and this posed a real challenge. Obviously, I mean, like, if you ask me personally, who goes to Goa and, like, not go to the beach and visit the museum, that too somewhere far in the village. So tourists typically preferred the beaches, which were closer. And now Mizugawa decided to employ a pricing strategy. All right, that's what is the point that we have to pick up. They picked up their tickets affordably, significantly cheaper than the city's attraction. The strategy attracted budget conscious tourists who were looking for unique experiences in Goa, that too without burning a hole in their pockets. Fair enough. All said and done, a word spread about the cultural gem that got tucked away in the village, and visitors started flowing in or flocking down into the museum's charm, but also for the economic ticket prices. In the age of social media, Musegoa knew that the word of mouth was so powerful, I mean, limited to only whispers. They tapped into the power of social media. This is digital transformation, guys. Huh? So, to promote a unique museum experience, Musegoa ran an interactive campaign encouraging visitors to share their experiences on various social platforms. And when we talk about social platforms, what comes in the first place is our favorite, Instagram. Huh? So one particular Instagram post featuring a vibrant Goan mural in the museum went viral. I think that is something that everybody knows, that when there is something like this, it will go viral. This was the turning point, and this picture aesthetics affected. People started coming in, influencers, bloggers, travel enthusiasts, making Musegoa a social media sensation. Visitors came pouring in, not just from India but across the globe, eager to capture their own moments at this so-called Instagrammable Museum of Goa. Okay, chalo, very good. So that this is the entire background they built. They're pulling off the story. With still success came as an ambition, Museum Goa decided to expand its footprint beyond Goa. All right, now that is market development. See, as you read and if you are connected to the topic, you will understand that they are trying to put forth so many of the strategic management concepts. It's not like, they're talking about a museum in Goa. That is just the theme for the story, right? So they use the word vision here in the beginning to start with. When they said this, they had a vision. Then they talked about how the Mendelow's matrix was brought in. Then they talked about digital transformation through social media. Now they're talking about expanding its footprint, that is going beyond your first location. To guide this expansion, they conducted a strategic audit and trend analysis. They identified emerging cultural and tourism trends and found potential markets in Pune and Trivandrum, both again very vibrant places in terms of culture. In Pune, Musegoa created a special exhibition that celebrated the fusion of Goan and the Maharashtrian cultures, and they strategically partnered with the local influencers and travel agencies to get this done. The expansion into Pune was a resounding success. When it came to Trivandrum, Musegoa recognized the importance of local traditions and a distinct flavor of Kerala. Kerala is a wonderful, beautiful place, right? Of course, has its share of bad times every now and then. They tailored their offerings to harmonize the regional culture. Musegoa became the gateway for tourists to explore Kerala's rich heritage, with the museum acting as a bridge between Goa and Kerala's cultural tapestry. Mizogawa also initial approved the expansion with a testament that their commitment of community building, strategic pricing, social media savvy, and a keen eye for even the trends. The company continued to flourish, celebrating diverse cultural tapestry of India and making history come alive in every location they touched. All right, so Muzogawa is a success. This is the background of the story. Now see the questions which has nothing to do with which strategic management concept did Musegoa use to address their initial concerns? Come on. Now, this is like gifting you marks. Guys, I'm telling you, if this sort of a case study comes in the exam, you are going to get the marks just like that, right? Obviously, we saw only one name there, Mendelow's matrix, right, to initially address the concerns. Musegoa's idyllic location in quaint village posed a challenge as tourists preferred beaches closer to the city. Okay. To attract the visitors, Musegoa priced their tickets affordably, cheaper than the city's attraction. Underpricing a rival. You're not doing anything unique. You're playing with a price and drawing budget conscious tourists, which means price sensitive customers. Now, these are places where you got to apply your head, right? Budget conscious tourists are price sensitive people, and therefore, which strategy did it employ? It's going to be a Cost leadership strategy. Why is it called cost leadership strategy? Because you're offering the price at the lowest and trying to underprice the rivals with keeping budget consciousness. How did Musagoa approach? How did Musagoa approach its expansion into new markets as Pune and Trivandrum? What is this called as? As I told you, while discussing itself, I told you it is a market development strategy. Why is it market development? Right? Using existing product, you are entering into new markets. So existing products, when they go into new markets, this is called as market development strategy as per our Igor and Soft framework. Okay, so three questions, 3 into 2, 6 marks, damn straight and simple. Which element of the 7S McKinsey model? I hope everybody did this topic in the 5th chapter. 7S McKinsey model is demonstrated by Musagowa's strategic use of social media and pricing strategies, style, strategy, uh, shared values and skills. I think all of you can easily pick up that it was their strategy to do so, and that is why the answer is B. And the last bit says, what played a crucial role of Mizagoa's success in Pune and Trivandrum? Strategic partnership, aggressive advertising, product differentiation, and vertical integration. It is very clear in that paragraph that they partnered with the locals and all that. So the answer to that is strategic partnership. So 5 damn simple questions. It just, like, I spent more time in reading and doing, and slowly I also talked about other aspects and did. But if you really focus this in the exam, it's going to take 5 minutes to get you this 10 marks. This is very, very valuable. And this requires no special preparation, if you understand what I'm saying, because this came from all the topics that are there in the book. So therefore, again, I'm suggesting you stick to what you're doing as the conceptual clarity. Go through all the 5 chapters. MCQs 15 marks, you can handle them easily. Now, let us see what are the story of the next 5 bits. Jago Lights, a successful brand from Jalandhar, aim to enter the Middle East market. Okay, entry again. They need to reorganize internal operations and refine product designs, which are facing pressure to expand quickly and the turbulence that is there in the existing operations. What is the primary limitation of strategic management highlighted in their business case? Okay, now you know what the limitations are. Figure out the limitations. That is one easiest way to answer this MCQ. Lack of senior management support, time consuming and complex in nature, inability to adapt to market changes, and excessive focus on short term goals. Found the answer there. It is time consuming and complex in nature, because that is, first of all, that is the only limitation of strategic management that you can see in that. And apart from that, it's very clear that it aimed to enter, but they needed to reorganize and refine the products because they faced this. So obviously it's a little complex in nature, right? Then a traditional desi ghee company modernized in production and introduction. Probiotic desi ghee facing initial market doubts. All right. Aggressive marketing campaign highlighted its benefits, gaining acceptance. During which stage of the product's life cycle did desi ghee face doubts? So initial market, I think all of you know the 4 stages in the product's life cycle are introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. And since the word used is clearly initial market, the answer to this is A, which is nothing but introduction stage. Moving on, next one, guys, a small tech company on enhancing their main product, which became crucial across various industries due to its increased power and adaptability. Their early partnership and smart decisions facilitated a rapid growth, leading to a $5 billion valuation. Right? According to CK Prahlad and Gary Hamel, which area represents the company's core competency? Okay. Now, you have to understand that there are 3 points from CK Prahlad and Gary Hamel, right? Competitors, differentiation, customer value, and application to other markets. From this three, one of them is the answer. Now, first, let's see. Enhancing their main product, which became a crucial success across various industries due to its increased power and adaptability. So, increased power and adaptability, which is about application to other markets. They were able to adapt to other markets, and that is exactly how they were able to pick up that. A women's clothing brand recognized new opportunities. Okay, and a women's clothing brand recognized some new opportunities and researched the emerging trends. Okay, and consumer preferences. Then they introduced a new clothing line, received positive feedback from initial trials, and grew through strategic partnership and targeted advertising. Which choice describes the best approach? Again, this is to something to do with what you call as the Ansoff matrix. Check that out. Four options: product development, market penetration, and diversification. Which of the Ansoff strategy is that? Come on, can you figure that out? What is it? It goes by, clearly you can see there they're saying something that they introduced a new clothing line, so this is pretty much what, new product into existing market. So when you introduce a new product into an existing market, what would be called as product development? That is how you figure out the answer very easily, huh? For over 100 years, the KDH business has thrived by leveraging strategic control as a cornerstone of its strategic approach. Regular evaluation of goals and performance ensured that they stay responsive to shifting market trends and evolving customer needs. Which type of strategic control is highlighted here? Premise control, special alert control, implementation control, and implementation control with monitoring strategic thrust. The four options, you know the answer there. They're talking about how they are regular evaluation of goals versus what you want. This comparison is called as a milestone review. I give an example of people traveling on the highway. If you remember, right, when you're traveling on a highway, we keep looking at the milestone to see how far have we come and what is it. The same logic, right? So that is the answer. And five pretty damn simple MCQs. Okay, so we just took about 15 minutes to do the case study and the MCQs. It wouldn't take even this long in the exam if you are focused. But still, even if it takes about 15 minutes, you should be in a very safe spot in being able to deal with this. All right, let's get to some question answer stuff. This is exactly what I want to show here. Descriptive questions from the first chapter. Tech Innovators Inc., a rapidly expanding company, aims to lead in AI, all right, and machine learning. With recent growth, the company is evaluating which organizational structure to follow. Okay, so there are organizational structures, and there are three relations. They're considering three options: functional, divisional, and horizontal. That is the last topic of the first chapter, which makes a lot of sense, right? Last topic of the first chapter, which makes a lot of sense. That is not there in the previous strategic management syllabus, newly introduced. So they're just asking you, the question is, which of these relationships, functional, divisional, horizontal, will most effectively achieve tech innovators strategic goals and why? Okay, so basically you need to first explain what those three are, and then would also be going about talking their main aim is to lead in AI. So with the recent growth, so they are a startup, and I think you know what the answer is. For startups, we are talking about horizontal relationship has to be one of those. So they are asking you functional, divisional, horizontal, or matrix. Which one will be the most effective and why? So basically here in the answers part, okay, I'll just get to the answer of that one. Mm, Strategic management helps an organization work through changes in environment to gain a competitive advantage. In the light of the statement, discuss the benefits. This is a straight damn question. Seven benefits to strategic management. Okay. Now, eighth one is a damn simple question. In seventh one, the way they presented the answer, I would like to tell you here. Here, if you go down to the RTP's answers, you'll find that uh, the whole story here. They've just given about this one and a particular area where they have told, in this case, see, this is an entity that is starting up. No, this is not an entity that is starting up, right? This is suitable for startups, horizontal, but this entity I guess is matrix, because they're developing AI. Okay, my bad, earlier I told you about horizontal, thinking that it's a startup. Now here you can see clearly the matrix relation is most effective for these kind of companies because they are functioning cross functional collaboration, right? So if you write the three clearly, first you have to write the three relations clearly: functional, divisional, horizontal, and then from that point of view you can pick up as to how the answer is, right? And then the seven benefits are damn straight and simple. There is nothing that one really needs to bother about here. This is a straight question from the book, right? Coming back to the second chapter's questions: identify the stages of the product life cycle that company went through. So basically, a company has launched a new product in the market. Initially it faced slow sales and growth, limited markets and high prices. However, over time the demand for the product expanded rapidly. It expanded rapidly, and I think you know the introduction, growth, maturity and then decline are the four stages. But here they are talking about the time where launched a new product, then they faced low sales growth. However, over time, demand for the product expanded rapidly and prices fell and the competition increased. So, if you are writing the first two stages of the product's life cycle, that is introduction and growth, that should take care of the answer, right? Because in that question, they didn't talk about reaching maturity and then declining. Okay, so like that. That is about a question on the product's life cycle, and then followed by another question which is about, yeah, what is five favors? So this is a damn simple question again. Rajiv Arya owns an electrical appliance company, initializing the manufacture of domestic vacuum cleaners. Okay, the market is competitive with four other manufacturers offering similar products. So which means you're talking about rivals. Additionally, these rival firms hold several patents related to vacuum cleaner technology. The supplier base for raw materials is extensive with multiple suppliers available. Identify, explain the significant forces from Michael Porter's five forces framework which are relevant. So suppliers, bargaining power and rivalry are the two factors that are right now being discussed here. Suppliers, bargaining power, and also where they are talking about rivals, right? So single manufacturer will not be able to dominate, so large number of patents, and this bargaining power of suppliers, and they also, this will only enhance the competitive rivalry. So that is what the answer is. You can frame the answer, how they framed the answer you can see. So there is the competitive rivalry is a significant force. So one of the five forces, this is one force. And then also there is about bargaining power of the customers. There's no information relating to substitutes they didn't give, and bargaining power of customers. Oh, wait a second, that is not the point where I want to mark. Those two are not there, they're telling. Yeah, here small supplies, so bargaining power of suppliers, this is two. So only two forces have been discussed out of the five forces, and that is what you are expected to explain. Okay, see guys, the answers are to be written neatly in paragraphs, I mean like points one by one. There are no specific presentational headaches that one has to take in this context, right? Then coming to the third chapter, they've asked the question on, with reference to Michael Porter's generic strategy, explain how this strategy is advantageous to the company. The 12th one is a damn straight Mendelow's matrix. So here the story of this question: in spite of high commodity inflation, shortage of components in the third wave of COVID, home appliances and consumers, I think semiconductor shortages were there, right? They're expecting the business to grow from 12 to 25% in the coming months. After 1.5 years of disruption, manufacturers are now confident about making their inventories better, keeping supply channels well stocked, and preparing themselves to minimize the impact of COVID-19 and gear up for a festive season, which usually accounts to 25 to 30% of their yearly sales. Okay, nice. The home appliances could be a good example. After a dismal April to June quarter, the 2021, produce of air conditioners, refrigerators, and washing machines are expecting business to grow by 15 to 20% in the months to come. All the companies operating in this sector, they have all geared up for something to grab the opportunity available in the market. Okay, a leading company in the home appliances domain, XP India, is planning to launch various innovative product designs and offer. Now, first of all, when we talk about Michael Porter's strategy, we talk about cost leadership, differentiation, and focus. Now, here very clearly they have given that they are doing something innovative. So, according to those, cost leadership and focus are out in the equation. Differentiation is the strategy that we are supposed to write. So, once you figure out this, then it is a general answer. What is differentiation? And differentiation should be pursued after this. And what are the advantages of differentiation? And then followed by the Mendelow's matrix, which is about keep satisfied, keep layer, low priority, keep informed. Guys, as I told you, if you are getting an idea of how the questions are going to be in the exam, this is how they are going to be, and you really don't have to break your head in terms of how to answer them. List out the components of the action plan for a turnaround, right? The 5 points, you have to write them straight, though the story is all full, but what are the 5 points about action plan for a turnaround? And distinguish between concentric and conglomerate. Damn simple question. Concentric is when there is process, technology, or marketing as a common factor. Your existing product is related to the new product through process, technology, or marketing, while conglomerate, absolutely unrelated diversification. Coming to the last chapter, where you'd see discuss any 4 attributes and benefits that may be derived using this organization structure, which is the one, right? Has announced a major restructuring of business, and the company has decided to split its business into 4 separate units: manufacturing, retail. Okay, from this paragraph you can understand that they're talking about the concept of SBUs. Now, once you talk about SBUs, right, this is about writing what are the attributes of SBUs using the organization structure, followed by why SPM's strategic performance measures are essential for the organization. This is the last topic in the book, and you can see that it's a 4 point answer. You'll find that strategic performance measures are useful. It's a damn straight question. You can see there: goal alignment, resource allocation, continuous improvement, and external accountability. So this is what is there in this RTP. Nothing much. So spend this time in running through the RTP. It will be very helpful, in understanding what sort of questions are coming. Apart from this, I would also like to suggest that you do the last 3 attempts question papers, or at least last couple of attempts question papers, which would be of great help to you. Also, don't forget to solve the mock test papers. Let me see if we can try and bring another video on the mock test papers. But again, like I said, it will be this sort of a similar thing. So please go through it on your own. A couple of question papers in the past. Do one or at least one mock test. Sit and write it as if you write it in the exam conditions, and things will be better. I'll see you in my next video, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.